Back to the stream. Need to fix something and then I can continue painting. But dotting tools with special designs, turns out they were just 3D printed. Well, I can do that myself. So I felt a bit scammed. But one little leaf broke. And another one is breaking, so I need to fix that. And when it's glued back in place, I can use extra glue and maybe even resin to make it stronger. I could have asked for a refund, but at the same time I was like, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Zak erin, as we say in Dutch. Do I have something I can stick in between to keep it upright? This is not thick enough. I think this one should be thick enough. Or are you too thick? Okay. And now it dries before I need to make it stronger. There we go. Really love this little tiny glue bottle. You can be very precise with your glue. Right. I think I want to return to these because I want to try that other paint today. Need to be careful with this, but it's nice and matte. What I dislike about this paint that it dries very, very darkly. But other than that, it's fine paint. Of course, you can always blend it with white, so that's not much of an issue. I do like the negative space ID. But I probably can, if it dries up the way it looks now, I can use the chameleon paint next round. I made a very dark blend and I can't even remember for what. I know I made it last week, so I can just revisit the stream. Don't wanna, but I can. Keep in mind, this part is still wet. Don't be too quick. Okay, this probably needs about 2 more coats and some touch-ups on the gold. Right, let's return to Umi. Because the lines are pretty much done, or there still needs to be white. That's pretty much all that needs to be done. And the eyes, so I need to check her eyes. So I need to Google that. If I recall well, they were gray. I currently have a couple of types of keyboards I actively work on, so that's kind of tricky. Me. Blue. She just has blue eyes. Okay. That's boring, but okay. Blue it is. And she has very dark blue, so technically it's this blue. Great. Just closed it off. Looks like a zombie now. No space to dry there, so space to dry here. Let's continue with those eyes. And this needs to be laid on thick because it's metallic and it dries nice and flat. It just takes forever. Probably gonna use that metallic yellow another time today. So I think I'm gonna use that yellow because it takes forever to dry. It's a wonderful color. I really love using it. It just takes forever. While this needs to be multicolored hair, the base is still this yellow. And if this bottle is running to its end, I'm probably just gonna put it into a jar. This usually takes 2 coats, but like said, it takes forever to dry. Sure, I could do thinner coats, but then I need more. And this lays on very nicely and flat. And I have to make things easy for myself. This character is named Hannah, nicknamed the Mermaid, because she loves fishing and loves swimming. So she's not an actual mermaid. If you read my wiki, you probably already know what mermaids are for realsies in my world. And she loves the color green. It's not really what you would expect for someone named the Mermaid. She has immensely long hair. Inconveniently long hair for most, but she prefers this. But hey, it's a fantasy world. I think I'm about halfway using this paint. Very glad I managed to get a second jar because the other colors I barely use. There were about, I think, 6 colors. Mint, baby blue, a bit darker blue, yellow, pink, and salmon. And I managed to get a second yellow, and I think a second salmon because it was they were the last two before it went. Well, it's already out of print. It's no longer available. Did hope to get a lilac as well, but even if you mix these, the pink and the blue, it doesn't bring a nice lilac. And for those wonder, it's from the Kick, their home brand. Don't really like going to the Kick anymore. It has to do with the cashier helping another client while I was still busy. Okay, that's okay, that's fine. But they handed their products above my head. So if they would drop something, it would drop on top of me. And it made me feel so rushed. I accidentally forgot something I paid for. And when I mailed their customer service twice, no response whatsoever. So I rarely go there anymore. I just don't like it being there. I have the same with the Solo, because twice they tried to fleece me. Once they rounded up a card payment, which they are not allowed to do. And once I returned something and they tried to give me less back, claiming this was a cash payment, so you get the rounded number. No, this is a card payment. Check it here. It says here. Yeah, but I don't have 2 cents anymore. Yeah, that's not my problem. I paid, let's say, $3.47, and I want $3.47 back, not $3.45. You're not making money of things that are returned. And I was all but tossed at 2 cents that I suddenly found all of a sudden. And once I bought measuring glasses that you could put into the dishwasher, and I put it in the dishwasher and all the measuring lines were gone. And I mailed the customer service and I was like, how am I going to prove that these are the ones that I bought here? Because the measuring lines are gone. Nothing indicates this came from you. And at least that customer service said, we'll let them know, just go back and you'll get a refund. So at least that one was done nicely. And there are new people here. So I try to give it a chance if they have something special. But most of the time, they don't really have anything interesting, worthwhile anymore. And it's more crap. And if I call something crap, it's really crap. Okay, so this needs about a week to dry. I'm going to blend the red. Where's my red? My lovely, lovely red. I have that one there. Okay. Oh, there. While the Xenos still exist, this brand does not. It's very thin, so when you shake it, you really need to keep your finger on top of the lid. I can close this, by the way. And this was a special edition, so I got 2 of them. Hopefully this comes close to it. Those are looking fine. Yeah, today I need 2 racks for all the things I'm doing, like putting paint on my fingers. The paint might look slightly lighter, but it usually dries darker. The paint of the Xenos is just too thin, at least that bottle. So I blend it with the paint of the Action, which is too thick. It pretty much looks like the same color. It's nice and flowy this way. Hence why it's my favorite to use. The yellow is fine. So we need to do the hair, which is this color, I believe. Checking. No, this one is a bit too orangey. And I said it before, technically this is a bit too pink for Suta, and a bit too dull. But this is the closest I could get. Also, that stream I made yesterday for the banner will be lined up with the Sunday streams, because I have until next year planned for the regular stream and the speed stream. And I think until October for the craft streams. And I have to say that today I'm not really feeling it for streaming. I'm not really in the mood. So I need that stock. Why am I getting a notification? Is it important? Okay, not that important. It is important, but not that I have to rush. I have decided to make a Sakura Miku of this. But as you know, my pinks are not the greatest. This one is actually very dark and I need a lighter one for her hair, so I might need to make another blend. Because I only have super light. And the color I do need has very little coverage, so committing. Probably gonna need a jar for this soon enough. Nope, not in the skin. Oy. Let's see, because this one is that orangey pink. This one is technically the one I need for the hair, but it's too opaque, let opaque. And like I said, it's a freebie, so if you want to do it, if you don't like what I'm doing, feel free to do it yourself. Okay. That orangey is pink is called tea rose. Okay. Never knew that. Still don't like it. I mean, it's suitable, but it's not really pink. This one was nice and clean. So what I'm doing, because this is a nice opaque one and, well, I need to use it. And I'm needing white. Where's my crappy white? A lot of gunk. It's a very crunchy white. And for, no, I need this one. Let's see if I mix it straight right. I have a quite opaque color. A lot of white to make it lighter. Starting to turn out nicely. It's just very chunky still. So I think I need to add a little bit of water. Very little. Getting there, getting there. I think I'm going to add a little bit of not opaque, very thin pink hue. Just to get the flow more and a little bit of glam in there. Okay. This looks like a nice cotton candy color with a little bit of texture. So we have to see how it turns out. Okay. Lid needs to dry as well. Don't know how many coats it's gonna need. But it's a nice, very nice cotton candy now. So we're also going to find out if I can paint tiny cherries. And if all goes well, this one will be for sale at Fantasy Fest. It's going to be, no, well, not the first. I first had the standees, but no one was interested in the standees. This is going to be a magnet. And, well, of course, this is a character people know, so that usually attracts attention as well. You'll go and dry over here. This is called cherry red, so might as well use it. And this is another reason why I want to keep those little jars, even when they're empty. Because working with these big tubes is very annoying. Sure, I could put them in little jars and then I have a gazillion more jars. We'll just have to see how this all turns out. Really like this color, but this tube, this brand, or brandless, takes forever to dry. It's the same brand I'm using for Miss Bunny, so it has its uses. I mean, if you want to layer it up for a galaxy, this is perfect. should have a baby blue already somewhere. And this paint also lays very nice and flat, so you can slap it on. It just takes a while for it to be dry again. It's all very nice and humid today. That was sarcastic for those who didn't get it. It does make bubbles, so you have to be careful about that. I'm very much running out of this color. This isn't a blend, so when I'm out, I'm out. Already got replacement brown. Still need to test it. Maybe I need to make it a bit lighter, because it's of a brand that really dries darkly. And with this, I don't even remember which colors I used. I can see one of the dark blues, that one that smells, from high school. I love how I managed to make a gray that's almost the same as in one of the tubes. And I know they were supposed to be white, but I wanted something more off-white, so hence this lilac-like color. I think when the paint is dry, it's time for Blastoise to be lined. And see if I missed anything. Still need to make a couple of Pokeballs. And I have no more drying space, so you're going to go over here. Okay, that's the base. And considering it dries way too dark, I need a lighter layer on top of it that is slightly translucent, transparent, and then you get the right color. Okay, what else do I have? Well, let's start picking a chameleon for paint. I'm going for the pretty purple. And I don't know which color that's going to be, but we'll find out soon enough. Ooh, that's a yellow. It shifts to a yellow. And it is more a pinkish purple. Well, time to find out how that works. Or how it's gonna look. Because I need to know how it looks dry, not how it looks wet. Probably gonna need a couple of coats to get it a bit streakless. So I am going to paint the tip. So I know what's going to be looking like when it's dry, so I know that next time. At least I know the color now. I know a lot of people use that little sharp point inside the lid on the outside to pierce the seal, but this seal also has a little tab you can pull, so that's my preference. You do need to spread it out very well to prevent blobs. Otherwise you don't get an even color. Okay, so let's see if I can show this on camera. You see a lot of yellow right now. And now it's a bit pinkish purple. It's not very easy to see on stream, so it's actually, yeah, it's a pink mixed with a gold. It's something I made for Hammery, so let's add a second coat. And as you know, this is how I learn. Don't tell me what's going to happen. Don't tell me what to do. Just let me discover it. And that's how I learn. That's how I improve. If you tell me what's going to happen, will I still experiment then? Spoiling the end kind of takes the fun out of crafting. Okay. So we're gonna let this fully dry, and I think I'm gonna need an extra coat. Because it looks kind of patchy right now. I think I need 2 or 3 more coats to get it nice and even. How far along are you? Not ready for the next coat anyway. So I'll keep you here. Blastoise, when did you fall? How far along are you guys? This one's fine now. So by the looks of this, I'm going to try one where I don't do a dark coat, just to see what's going to happen. Like I said, don't spoil it. I want to discover it for myself. And I think I can use that same purple pink for this one. Like I said, let me do things my way. And I'll thrive. So this is on a gold background. And now you can see the opacity, which isn't much, but you know, we're gonna see how many coats we're gonna need. We're gonna see how it dries. Do we actually need that dark color they talked about? Or can you use it without? Thus far, it's working fine. You see, if people told me, no, you can only use it on dark, I wouldn't have tried this. And that's what some people find hard to understand. Why do I want to invent the wheel over and over again? Well, I don't want to invent the wheel, but I want to learn. Okay, and I'm gonna grab a second chameleon paint. I think I'm going to go for a blue. Maybe, not sure yet. It's more greenish. They don't really have a blue. This one has a more other blue hue. Seems I missed a spot in the pink. This one says some sort of a blue or maybe even purple through it. Don't really call this blue sky, it's more green. Okay. And let's do that little dot again that I forgot. It's ironic that the first color I pick has a gold sheen. Well, I can make that myself. Okay, we're in again. So that means break time and cleanup time. And then I'll be seeing you for the final stream in about 10 minutes. So also hi. And see you in about